In this tutorial, we'll cover setting up a basic user. The administrator of MyMoBiz is set up automatically with full administrative rights to all the modules and capabilities of the program. With the small group edition and above, you have the ability to add other users within your organization to access the software. In many cases, you may want to give other team members access, however not administrative access. This tutorial will walk through providing users the appropriate amount of access to the system. We'll assume that we've just registered our new user in MyMoBiz. We're also looking at the professional version currently, so the available modules here may not necessarily reflect exactly what you see. Let's begin. We'll navigate to User Settings and choose the user that we'd like to make changes to. I'll choose Ted Stone in this case, as we've just created his account. Now let's walk through each entry in this list. We'll go to Assign Access to Entities. This enables us to give access to the company as a whole. This is a must. So we'll give access and click Update User. Once that's been saved, we'll click Back. Now we'll choose Assign Access to Templates. In this case, we want to assign access to the contract. And we're done. So we'll click Update User and click Back. Let's move along to assign access to new contracts. Do we want to give our user the capabilities to create a new contract? For our example, let's choose No Access. So we'll just click on the Back button here. Now we'll go to Assign Access to My Contracts. This is key here. We're able to define the role that the user has for all contracts. So as an administrator, this allows the user to edit and view all contracts, regardless if they have any association or membership to the contract within its Users and Roles section. An editor, which is probably the most suitable selection for our case, for our example here, allows the user to edit and view only those contracts that they have been associated with in the contract's Users and Roles section. A reader is view-only access capability of all contracts within the system. And finally, the documenter. This is really a dedicated data entry user and provides them with only data entry rights. So we'll just choose Editor and make sure that we choose Access. And finally, we'll update the user and click Back. We've just set up all the critical parts of the contract. Now we must assign permissions to access the system's functionality. We can do that by clicking on Assign Access to Modules. We've made it simple to assign access to modules. You notice that this looks exactly like the navigation tree. So all you have to do is check the respective checkboxes of the modules that you want to assign access to. Since we're setting up a new user, we can check the checkbox to the user's name to select all the modules in the tree, or we can select individual modules. We'll go the latter route. We'll select the individual modules. We'll give access to My Items. As you can see, all the highlighted items in My Items is pre-selected. However, we don't want to give access to My Tasks and maybe no reporting capabilities. So we'll deselect those. Scroll down and we'll just make sure that Log Out and Help are enabled. And we might as well give them access to quick to-dos as well. But once you're satisfied with the changes, then you can click Update User to save. That's been saved, and we'll click on Back. Now we'll assign access to dashboards. You can see dashboards are set up into quadrants and go from left to right. So quadrant 1 is top left, quadrant 2 is top right, quadrant 3 would be bottom left, and quadrant 4 would be bottom right. So all we have to do is assign the dashboard that we like to see visible in the respective quadrant. So I'm just going to choose my last 10 documents for quadrant 1, my last 5 reports for quadrant 2, and then I'll do my to-dos, and finally my documents for approval for quadrant 4. I'll update that and click on back, and I'm done. And finally, we need to give access to the user so that they may log in. So we can do this by clicking on Reset, Unlock, or Activate a User. You'll notice immediately that the account is active is set to no, account is locked is set to no, and Reset Password is set to no. So what we need to do is click on Edit and make sure account is active is set to yes. At the same time, we can reset their password and choose yes here as well. Now what this will do is, once the Update User button is clicked, the system will send out a system-generated temporary password to that user so that they may log in with that password and create a personalized password. So we'll just click on Update to make our changes. And finally, we'll select Update User. And choose back. And now we're completely done. We've successfully set up a user.